Live guys, welcome to another live stream from let's see, Three Girls in Love channel. My name is Joseph Darling, doing some things a little bit differently today because we're gonna do a reaction video and I'm doing it live. Okay, so this is a bit intense for me as well, but I'm fired up and excited about it because I want to help you guys to understand the world at a much more significant level than you are today. And if we're gonna do that, I can't just be yapping at you guys for hours on end on this channel without reacting to some videos. That's at least in my opinion. So today I wanted to share with you one video that I just watched the other day. I was trying to do a live stream, didn't really work out, but you know, this time it seems to be working. And so I'm gonna react to this one more time. And I'm gonna explain my thoughts on it, and you can comment down below with some thoughts and questions, and I'll be sure to answer them eventually. So let's go ahead and watch the video.
If you're in a happy relationship, you probably know that it's not all rainbows and sunshine like most people would believe. Relationships take hard work. It takes teamwork and companionship to make a relationship a happy one.
Alright, so first of all, let's talk about what this channel is about, okay? It's called the Three Girls in Love channel for a reason. It's not called the monogamy channel for sure. So what's the difference? Monogamy is when you have one man, one woman, and you basically are, that's kind of the mainstream way of doing things. You are together and very often it doesn't work out in the end. You know, a few minority of people might manage to get married on their first relationship, but usually what they're practicing is serial monogamy. So basically, they're practicing polygamy by having multiple partners, but they're doing it separately over time. And that's okay. That's the mainstream. What happens though every single time in a long-term relationship is that the fire, the excitement, the in love phase fizzles out every single time. No exception to the rule. That's monogamy. And eventually, what is termed here on this video, it says that everyone knows, or everyone might not know this, but it takes hard work in order for you to get a relationship to work. That sucks. Because if you think about it, when you're in love, it doesn't require work. It's actually like you're working at your relationship, but it's amazing. It's fun. You live on love and air. It's exciting. And I want to help you understand through this channel. And I don't think anyone else teaches this because I have not seen this anywhere else. We teach on this channel that you can actually be in love forever. Okay? Same man, same woman, you can be in love forever. Not just in the beginning, not just in the honeymoon phase, but you can actually have those fizzy, warm, exciting emotions that come from attraction for the rest of your life. However, what is required is responsible polygyny as taught on this channel. Three Girls in Love means that there's three women that together share the same trustworthy and wealthy man of high value who takes the blame for everything that goes wrong in those relationships. Meaning, the man has three women. Those three women are best friends forever. They all live together in one big happy family. And they live in harmony with each other because the man takes the blame 100% of the time. Not only does he take the blame, but he is the one who also brings in the financials, and it is expected that he provides excellently. If he does that, then he's rewarded by having three beautiful women. But understand that Three Girls in Love is not really about the man. The man provides, the man takes the blame, the man does blah, blah, blah. But it's about the women collaborating and having an amazing, fantastic lifestyle together. That's what we teach on this channel. When each of those three women have this man that they look up to and desire, and that man is being given power, obviously, because he has three women, what happens is that women are naturally attracted to him. They naturally gravitate to him, and they're in love with him forever as long as they stick. to this family structure and they don't leave it, right? But they won't leave because when you're attracted to someone, you're obsessed with them. And when you're obsessed with them and they treat you right, where are you going to go? Everything's going to be amazing and fantastic. So just wanted to explain this channel from upfront. We teach about female nature, etc., etc. So let's move on with the video.
Want to know what you can do to make your relationship the best it could be? Psych2Go presents to you 12 things couples do to make their relationships the happiest they can be. 1. They cuddle. Happy couples like to be physically close with each other. Physical affection, hugging, kisses, hand-holding, cuddling are all ways that healthy couples reinforce their bond. Studies have shown that couples who show the most physical affection towards each other last much longer than those who don't.
So, cuddling, that's number 1. First of all, cuddling is feminine. Let's define it, okay? Masculine is not being around very much, but coming in once in a while and getting what he wants, but also, providing and being there for the ones that he loves. He naturally gravitates towards that when he's in love with someone. If you're in love with someone, you will cuddle no matter what because you want to be close to each other, right? But really, who needs it the most? The woman, okay? Simple as that. The woman needs cuddling way more than the man does. Like 10 times more or 20 times more. The man doesn't need cuddling as much. So if we know that, then what's going on here? In Responsible Polygyny and Three Girls in Love, what happens is that the woman has 2 other women there. Cuddling is a feminine activity that they can do as much as they want throughout the entire day. And the man is not present. The man is at work. He's doing his career. He's doing whatever is needed in order for him to bring in the dough. While the women can cuddle, kiss, and hold hands and skip and do all sorts of fun activities, including cuddling, because that's what they feel like doing because they're feminine. And when their 3 women together allow themselves to do that, then they fulfill that emotional need that women have. Okay, you see teenagers holding hands. You see, what about that? Don't you want that as an adult woman? Like, why does that have to disappear? It shouldn't. So that's just what I wanted to say on cuddling, for sure.
2. They give PDA. Happy couples don't just leave all the love at the door. They enjoy public displays of affection. 3.
Okay, so this one is interesting. If you saw me and my wife, I didn't even give the background. For those of you who have been on my channel, you know this. But those that haven't, I'm happily married. Okay, I've got 1 woman and I've got 3 kids. But however, I teach about Three Girls in Love. How's that? Well, my wife wants Three Girls in Love way more and way faster than I desired. So we're excited about the future prospects of that. However, from the outside looking in, you would think if you don't know us as a couple, or even if you do know us, you will think that we're the happiest couple that you've ever seen. Okay, we're extremely happy together. However, we know the limitations. We know that we could be 10 times happier, 20 times happier if we were both, if she was massively attracted to me. I'm attracted to my wife. But actually, the more, this is how a man works when he's masculine. The more a woman is in love with her man, the more in love with her he will be. So basically, what we're doing in Three Girls in Love is making sure that the women are continuously attracted to the man. If they are, the man naturally is massively in love because he's rewarded, he's motivated, he's fired up outside his brain about his life, he's winning. Very often in monogamy, the man is always defeated. Okay, and there's nothing less attractive than a man being defeated. Why is he defeated? Because he has to submit. There's 2 different things in monogamy. 1, the man desires sex more than the woman does, or at least has a drive towards sex more than the woman does. The woman is more sexual than the man, believe it or not, but his desire for sex is let's say 3 times more than the woman. On a continual basis. The woman maybe needs sex once a week. He needs it maybe 3 times a week or once and 3 times a week. That's one aspect, meaning the one who desires sex the less is the one who has the control in the relationship. That sucks, right? Because that means that the woman is the one who has to say no continuously, and the man is then defeated. The second aspect of it is that when you're in an argument, we're going to talk about that throughout this video probably, but when you're in an argument, the man very often is the rational one. The woman is the emotional one, meaning if there's something that she's passionate about, she's gonna raise her voice. She's gonna be intense. She's gonna be upset with him. And the man can then choose, if he manages to control himself, to escalate the situation and make the situation worse, so that she will escalate the situation and he escalates the situation. But when you've really figured it out, when you know what you're doing in a monogamous relationship, you figured out that it's just easier just to submit and just to say, you know what, you're right, let's just do it your way, it's fine. You see that? What happens then is he submits and then he's defeated. Again, he didn't win, but he at least wins the war by, he loses the battle, but he wins the war of not having escalated any situation beyond ridiculous, ways. So in that sense, monogamy always has the woman as the default leader. Okay? So if you're a woman and you want to be the leader in a relationship, fantastic, be monogamous, because you're gonna be the leader no matter what. If you are, unless it's kind of forced, okay, this is kind of weird, but there are some relationships where the man is masculine, the woman is feminine, and he's the leader, blah, blah, blah. But really, when you get back home, trust me, the woman is the leader, always, especially once she gets kids. So, but anyway, I was just explaining that PDA, public displays of affection, people would believe that our relationship is absolutely amazing. We never fight. We're happy. We kiss each other when we're out. Yesterday, we walked outside for 4 hours. Okay, we walked 17 kilometers. She wants to lose some weight. And we were holding hands like 40% of the time. We kissed, we hugged. Like, anyone looking at us would believe that we're the happiest couple that you've ever seen. Once you get inside the walls of our home, you'll realize that there's a little bit more to it than that, okay? And if we, as the happiest couple you've ever seen, understand that monogamy does not work in terms of keeping attraction alive, then maybe you should be listening and subscribing to this channel. Let's move on.
Spend time together. Quality time is important because it provides couples the chance to give each other their undivided attention and strengthen their relationship. Sometimes it can feel hard to fit time into your weekly schedules to have fun with each other. But quality time doesn't have to be complicated. A quick lunch date, a walk around your favorite store, an at-home movie night, it's all up to you. 4.
Quality time or quantity time, which one should you choose? Well, people would think that, if you're massively in love and you're happy with each other, then you'd want to spend as much time as possible together. Is that the case in monogamy? Not so much. I mean, like it says in the beginning, it takes work, okay? Very often you don't want to be together that much, but kind of have to be together because, the woman is lonely very often. She doesn't have maybe the friends available and she wants to be with her partner. And so she basically is, she wants her man to be with her a lot of the time. Understand that this is also part of the feminine nature of things. A woman has much more of an emotional need to be social, to be a social creature, to have other people around her. Very often in this stressed postmodern society we've got right now, a lot of her friends are unavailable because they've got a lot of problems of their own, they've got work of their own, and they've got family of their own, they've got their boyfriend of their own. They've got a lot of different friends, maybe, but those friends are not often walking in the same direction as her. They might not even have the same beliefs or values as her. In 3 Girls in Love, what a woman is allowed to have are 2 best friends who she can spend time with as much as she wants. Whenever she needs private time, whenever she needs time alone, she can take that time off without it affecting the 2 others' desire for social. Because they'll have each other. So there'll always be someone in 3 Girls in Love. That's amazing. And the man doesn't want to spend that much time with you as you think. Okay? as a man, very often you kind of want to be there a little bit, enjoy the adoration and being present, with the ones you love, of course, every single day. However, that for a man, he wants that 20% of the time, not 80% of the time. Okay? He wants 20% of the time of that, enjoying the adoration there, and then he wants to go to work and be fired up outside his brain about mastery, leadership, developing power, developing a lot of finances, and being adored in the workforce. Okay, not the workforce, but his businesses. That's kind of how men are, but women want 80% of time spent together. So together in monogamy, that becomes a problem because very often the man wants to be with his woman, he wants to submit to his woman, so he comes and he spends a lot of time with her, but the more time he spends with her, the less attraction there's going to be, the less excitement there's going to be in the relationship. The less time you have, as long as it's enough time, the more fired up both are going to be in a relationship. And it's very difficult to find that balance in monogamy. Very often in marriage, you'll find out that the woman is like, why aren't you spending time with us? We want you to spend time with us. While the man is like, but you also want me to make money. Like, you gotta choose which one you want. And very often, women are not able to choose unless they develop passive income. And developing passive income is quite difficult, but even then, even once you develop passive income, the man has kind of done his part in developing it, and now he wants to be in the home and be with you a lot of the time. Guess what? He's being feminine, you're being masculine. Now you're the one that wants alone time. So it's screwed up in monogamy, but in Three Girls in Love, this ratio works very, very well.
They give each other space. Nobody's meant to spend every waking moment with each other. Even the happiest of couples can get on each other's nerves from time to time. Sometimes we crave time to recharge on our own. People in stable relationships understand this about each other and don't take these timeouts personally. Time apart is time to work on your own personal activities and to miss your partner. 5.
Yeah, so basically what I explained in the last one, but seriously, like, personal space, you have to work at personal space in monogamy. Like, it happens naturally. Why isn't there just flow in life, right? Why can't things just work? Oh, anyway.
They go out of their way for each other. Couples in healthy relationships tend to do nice things for each other without keeping score or looking for something in return. Why? Because it feels good to do something nice for your partner.
Okay, what about this one? In monogamy, why do you have to work at helping each other out or doing nice things towards each other? Doesn't that just come naturally when you like someone? Isn't it like, oh, I thought about this person. I really think that person is going to be happy if I do this for him or her. Like, in monogamy, very often you're put in a stressful situation because you've got so many things to do as a woman. Okay? So many things to do as a woman, so you never really have time to do something special for the man, which is fine. We don't need much. We don't care about much, really, except for sex. Like, adoration and sex, that's kind of, a man is happy with that. If he gets food, sex, and sleep, he's happy. And he gets out, and he goes and gets the money. But women, however, they need a lot of small things, a lot of, oh, can you do this for me? And can you do this for me? And very often they want the man to do those things automatically on his own without having to think about it. Understand, men don't think that way, okay? There's a very nice quote on my Three Girls in Love on Instagram that I've got. Sign up on that one, by the way. Follow it, Three Girls in Love with the digit 3. And on it, I have 2 slides where it says, feminine it's the little things that count, okay? Masculinity, that's the next slide, says, I have more important things to do. Okay, so when you state this, though, it sounds horrific. However, it's facts, right? The man has more important things to do than doing those small itty-bitty things for you. However, in Three Girls in Love, this is solved perfectly because the women, all of them, since they're feminine, it's the little things that count, and they do little things to each other because they think about each other, and then they do little things for their man, and the man doesn't really care about them, but he's so grateful that they're adoring him and that they think about him enough to do small things for him. Do you understand how that works? For men, however, they'll be reminded by the other women to do something special for the other woman. So in that sense, the woman now doesn't have to remind the man to do something nice for her, and it will actually be a surprise when he does something nice to her. Does that make sense? But he doesn't have to think about it. Other than the fact that he will actually maybe even think about it when he doesn't have to think about it, if that makes sense. Like, he'll want to do it because he gets all of the adoration and reward and excitement from his women. So it becomes a natural aspect of life.
These acts of service can be as simple as doing the dishes or as time-consuming as picking them up from work. 6.
Okay, just the chores thing. Just have to mention that. Do you believe that men want to do the dishes, want to vacuum, want to cook, want to do all the feminine activities in the home? Not so much. We really don't, okay? We've got like maybe 5% we want to do that. 95% we want to be out there working and bringing in the money. For women, however, they love the home if they're not doing it all on their own and they're not doing it 8 hours a day. Do you understand? Like, taking care of kids. We've got 3 kids. My wife has been taking care of them for 10 years. They're being homeschooled, so obviously we took on, responsibility upon ourselves that's way harder than what most people do. Most people just send their kids off to school. Great. That's not very good, in my opinion, because the kids have emotional needs and they're not being fulfilled at school. So, but anyway, a woman who's struggling with a lot of kids and has to make food 5 times a day, which means that she's gonna make food and then she has to serve the food and she can't think about herself, right? And then she has to eat the food, but then she also has to clean the food afterwards. How much time do you think she has to do fun things during the day? How much time do you think she has to be with her kids during a day? How much time does she have to actually go out and do activities during the day while still having nurturing and nutritious food for her kids? Not so much. Okay, this is why you see women feeding their kids McDonald's and a lot of crap these days, because there's no capacity to do anything else. In 3 Girls in Love, the man doesn't have to help out in the home because the women gladly do it together, and it's fun when you're 3 doing it together and the kids are taken care of. Amazing.
They communicate. Happy couples are just like everyone else. They disagree and they have arguments.
Really? Do they have to have arguments? Is that necessary? Because if you understand attraction, if you understand, like, when you're in love with someone, you don't yell at them. When you're in love with someone, you're blind to their mistakes and their weaknesses, aren't you? Wouldn't that be nice to actually be blind to their weaknesses for the rest of your life? That's what we teach here on 3 Girls in Love. You actually can have that. And if you're blind to each other's weaknesses and mistakes, you're not going to yell or be upset with each other. You're not going to have a short fuse. That's not going to happen. I actually personally never raise my voice to my wife. Ever. It doesn't happen. And if it does happen, it's because I've gotten to a very, very short fuse because of the lack of appreciation and adoration and love I've had over a long period of time, right? And because I forget, okay? That's it. Whenever I'm rational and not emotional, which is the majority of the time, we're talking 99.9% of the time, I never argue, which becomes very boring for my wife. But she'd rather have me not cause drama and escalate a situation and us still be able to have a civil relationship and a friendship with each other rather than me escalating a situation on purpose. Why would I do that? I love her, so why would I raise my voice? In the same way, a woman who's in love will also never raise her voice at her partner. Amazing. Wouldn't that, okay, just that. Communication. Yes, communication is important, especially in 3 Girls in Love. But understand that in 3 Girls in Love, the women communicate a lot, the whole day. And the man is not required for a lot of that communication. He comes home, they've already communicated, they're already emotionally fulfilled, don't have to talk about anything else. The man comes home, and if they still have problems, they'll mention it, he'll solve it, and they won't have to seek to be understood, right? Feminine is to seek to be understood first, and then seeking to understand. Masculinity is seeking to understand first and then seeking to be understood. Understand the difference. And what happens is that if the woman has a problem in monogamy, the woman just simply wants the man to understand. That's it. He doesn't want to, she doesn't want him to seek to be understood, right? Because then there's escalation and there's, and they're battling with each other. If the man seeks to understand first, she will feel understood, then she's ready to understand him. Do you understand what I mean? So in Three Girls in Love, however, what happens is that the women talk amongst each other and then they feel understood, right? And there's at least one of them that understands her because one of them is objective. If they're having a small little tiff, which hardly will ever happen, but it can happen in Three Girls in Love, then they understand each other and they work things out. The man comes home, if there's still a problem, he takes the blame. It was my fault all along. Let's solve the problem. And then there's harmony again because they have a common enemy. Amazing. Three Girls in Love.
The difference between a happy couple and a struggling one? Happy couples can talk through their problems without bringing up unnecessary things or trying to hurt each other's feelings. 7. They joke around. Happy couples are friends as much as they are romantic partners.
Okay, first of all, that's sick. I don't really like, yes, of course you're friends, duh, because you're social with each other. However, if you understand attraction, the more friend you become, the less of a lover you become. Okay? So this is why in Three Girls in Love, I say that women are bisexual by nature if they're feminine. If you're masculine, you're gonna be going against the grain and going against your nature, which means that you're gonna feel like I'm not bisexual. I'm just straight. That's your masculinity talking. When you're feminine, you're bisexual. Okay? You'll notice that from if you've watched porn in the past, you look at the pleasure of the woman. Interesting. You're not looking at the man. In your teenage years, you were looking at the other women. That was because of your curiosity or bisexual nature. Men don't really do that unless they're feminine. Do you understand what I mean? So if you understand that, then you'll realize that in Three Girls in Love, you'll have the friendship with the women and you won't be as sexual with them as you are with the man. And the sexuality happens when the man is around, which is great because then it means that you can actually have a family and you're not distracted all of the time by attraction and it being exhausting. If you understand what I mean. You're friends with them. And then the man is the mysterious stranger who's there only 20% of the time because he's out working and then he comes home and it's kind of exciting to see him again because he hasn't been around all day. And you've been edifying and talking about him all day amongst you, each other as women, and then he comes home and it's exciting. The more friends you become, the less of a lover he's going to be. And you want to keep that attraction and tension going on for the rest of your life, right? So you don't want him to be friend-zoned, do you? That's one of the things that men are trying to avoid continuously with the women that they're attracted to, is to be friend-zoned. Because if they're friend-zoned, the attraction is gone. They can never become a lover. Now it's broken. It's done for. The relationship is not going to work. You got to understand that relation.
And that means being able to have fun with each other. People in happy relationships feel free to be their silly selves around each other. Being able to joke around with your partner can have
femininity. Joking. Like, the man, yes, of course, he's going to joke around. He's going to be part of the relationship and everyone's going to have fun and laughter and all that stuff. Great. Wonderful. But as a man, your responsibility is to be less excited, less, all over the place and less emotional than the women. Allow the women to shine. Allow the women to do their thing and be excited and provide the entertainment. The man doesn't do that unless he does it in a kind of dry manner. Okay, dry humor is very masculine. But a man who uses a lot of movements and basically is an entertainer very often is very, very, very feminine. So nice to know.
Have an amazing impact on your relationship. 8. They can talk seriously. Joking around is always fun, but happy couples also know when to be vulnerable with each other. Sometimes we just need to have our moments to tell our partners that they mean the world to us.
Okay. Vulnerability in a man works at times, as long as he does it less than 1 or 2% of the time, or 3% of the time. Women want their man to be strong, to be powerful. That's what they're attracted to. Whenever they lose attraction, it doesn't work very well. However, they also want a man to have some kind of vulnerability. You'll see that in Friends, for example, with, Duck Boy, with Bruce Willis, when he was in there and Rachel was excited and in love with him, blah, blah, blah. And then he never cried, always serious, powerful, blah, blah, blah. And then she really at one point wanted him to be vulnerable, like wanted to get him to talk about his emotions, and don't you have feelings in there somewhere? And he was like, no, I'm fine, I'm good. At one point she got it out of him, and that's when he was called Duck Boy and basically, chicken boy or whatever it was. Anyway, eventually he started crying and crying and crying and crying and crying, being vulnerable. And what happened? She dumped him that episode. She'd been in love with him for several episodes, and she dumped him in that episode. And that's actually what would happen in real life as well. Friends, if you watch Friends, you'll actually notice that a lot of the stuff that's in there, they understood female nature very well, or had so many case studies and applied them to the show. Friends is amazing in terms of understanding the woman and understanding relationships. But anyway, moving on. Moving on.
Other times, when we've had a rough day, all we want is to be able to vent to our partners and have them comfort us. Healthy couples understand that lending an ear and empathizing with our partner can work wonders.
Yeah. That's very feminine. A woman doesn't want to hear a man's problems if she's got problems of her own. That means that she's going to be burdened even more. She's got problems, she's burdened, meaning masculine, and then this show says that, you got to put in the work. You got to be disciplined even more, which means that you're going to be even more masculine. And then on top of that, you put his problems. Really? You don't want more problems. The man should fix his problems before he brings them to the home. If you haven't heard about that, that's something that's crucial. The man needs to leave all of his problems outside of the home. When he enters the home, there are no problems in his life. Okay? As a woman, however, she's going to have problems. She's going to have issues with this and that and the other. In 3 Girls in Love, there's so little amount of problems because everything is very often taken care of because there's 3 women thinking about solutions and thinking about solving something. And when they have no problems, they're fired up about solving problems. Very often, the quality of your life that you have is based upon your capacity and excitement to solve problems. In monogamy, everyone is working at their lowest possible capacity because of lack of motivation and lack of attraction towards a partner, okay? In 3 Girls in Love, since you're in love all of the time and you're attracted, you're motivated, you've got capacity, you're excited to handle problems in your life so that you can be together with your partner again. That's how it works. In 3 Girls in Love, it's amazing how much problems get solved by the women in the home so that the man comes home, all the problems are solved already. He doesn't bring any more problems, so there's no problems. Everyone's harmoniously living happily together as a family. Would you imagine? And if there are problems, there's 4 people to think about it and discuss it back and forth, and then it's solved. Everyone agrees. Let's move on.
9. They check in on each other. Things like work and school are sure to keep couples separated during an average week. These couples understand the importance of checking in with each other. According to research, updating each other every now and then helps to prevent either party from feeling taken for granted.
If you're in love, wouldn't you check in on your partner automatically because you're thinking about them? Like, do you have to be told to check in with your partner when you're in love? No, you'll be texting 10 times a day maybe, right? And very often that's what happens when one is in love with the other partner, then that person becomes needy because they want more from that other person, right? In 3 Girls in Love, that doesn't happen. They check in on each other whenever they need to, but the women have each other so they don't need the man that much throughout the day, right? Because they got social, they've got acceptance, they've got love, so they don't need the man as much. But sometimes they'll text him and say, hi, how are you doing? I love you, blah, 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 which makes the man feel great, of course, and then he texts back, and it's beautiful. But they do it because they love each other, not because, oh, I need to do this or else my relationship is not going to work. They do it because they love to do it. And that's the difference in 3 Girls in Love. Monogamy, you have to be reminded to check up on each other? Do you know how horrible a long-term relationship in monogamy is? Oh my gosh.
Keeping tabs also helps partners to feel supported in your daily goals and aspirations.
Did you
10.
see that?
Tabs each
Hold
other
on.
every now and then helps to prevent either party
Work
from
is
feeling
boring.
taken for
How's
granted.
school? Are you kidding me? What kind of lifestyle is this? Like, oh, this is monogamy. In Three Girls in Love, you actually are doing stuff that you love to do. Why? Because the man is rich, okay? And he loves to go out and get richer. Masculinity. And femininity gets to do whatever they want to do, when they want to do it, with whoever they want to do it with their two other best friends forever, and their kids, possibly, right? They've got the money to do awesome activities. Here are text messages of a normal monogamous relationship. Work is boring. How's school? In Three Girls in Love, work is never boring for a masculine man. And then the woman says, same, but it's nice to hear from you. Awesome.
Keeping tabs also helps partners to feel supported in your daily goals and aspirations. 10. They choose each other. Happy couples understand that real love is a choice.
Real love is a choice. There's two aspects to love, okay? You've got transaction, and then you've got transactions done consistently over a long period of time. That's what creates depth, okay? Very often in monogamy, people believe that love comes from only the transactions done consistently over a long period of time. In monogamy, very often what happens is that because this person is the only one that has been standing by you through thick and thin throughout your entire life, that's why you've got depth. Not because you've been in love with that person throughout your life. It's because he's the last option, okay? In Three Girls in Love, what happens is that you've got transactions, okay? Transactions that are filled with excitement and with emotion and with being in love, okay? Transactions. But these in-love emotions and the consistency of it creates the depth, okay? Can you imagine being in love with the same person for all of your life? Literally, in love. That means that all of those transactions of love that has happened, okay, consistently over a long period of time will create way more depth than any monogamous relationship ever will. Women that believe that they'll have more depth and that they'll receive more love or attention or whatever from a man who is monogamous with her in monogamy is very, very mistaken. You will feel literally 10, 20, 50 times more love in your life if you share your man. Simply from the fact that you're feeling loved and accepted by your your best friends forever, but also because you feel his love. That's one thing, man. I haven't shared this properly with you before, but I'm going to share it right now. Very, very quickly how this works. A woman who is in monogamy will not feel her man's love if she is not attracted to him. So if a woman is not attracted to her man, no matter how much the man shows his love to her, she's not going to feel it. Okay? So the man might say, I love you. The man might do small things for her, but she's gonna be like, it doesn't really matter. I'm not attracted to this guy, so I don't really care that he did those nice things for me or that he said those nice things for me. But when you watch a movie and you see your favorite movie star and he says something nice and romantic to the other woman in the movie, then you're like, oh, what's up with that? Okay? That's the dual nature of femininity. And it's Three Girls in Love. You like that movie star. You wish that he gave you that kind of attention because he made that woman feel what she felt. Even though it's in the movie. But very often the subconscious mind doesn't pick up on that, right? So you watch that. So in Three Girls in Love, what happens is that when you see the man showing you attention and he's shown someone else attention, which is your best friend, wow. You feel so special when he does pay attention to you. And it's not because he chooses you simply from having chosen you in Three Girls in Love, okay? He could have chosen anyone else. Men of high value have ton of options. But he chose you three. That's special. You're special. You're unique, okay? and the love that he'll feel for you is way more than he could feel if he was in a monogamous relationship. Trust me.
Lasting love is as much a commitment as it is a feeling, and happy couples understand that they both have to want to make things work. 11.
They both have to make things work. Have you heard that thing? What's it called? It takes two to tango. No, not so much. Very often people believe that in monogamy, that's correct. It's not correct because the man is always the one to blame. Have you noticed? Right? In a marriage, the woman divorces the man 80 to 90% of the time. She's the one who initiates it. But 100% of the time, it is always the man's fault. Even if he's the one who chooses to divorce her, it's his fault for having caused what happened in that relationship. You as a woman inherently know this. Very often you'll be like, no, I was responsible too. No, you were not. It's 100% the man's fault when there's a breakup or a divorce, and you know it. Okay, just admit it. So if we know that, it doesn't take two to tango, does it? It only requires a man of high value or a low value man to break the relationship. If he's a man of high value, he'll be committed for life and he'll keep you for life and he'll improve your environment for life so that he can improve his environment and how he enjoys life.
And they brighten each other's day. People in happy relationships understand that it takes an effort to keep the romance alive. They can find small ways to make their partners happy. Sometimes the gesture can be as small as making your partner their favorite coffee in the morning or sending them a cheesy "I love you" text just because.
It's the small things that count. I have more important.
12. They plan their future together. Happy couples understand the importance of coordination. This can be especially important when it comes to working towards.
Okay, just before you move on, just look at this calendar. That looks like work. Do you notice that? Dentist class, family dinner, blah, 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 work. Okay, they're making a calendar to make their schedules work. This is monogamy for you. Very often you'll high five the your partner in the door because the other person is going to work and you don't get to see each other and all that stuff. In Three Girls in Love, man, the man has passive income. The man has tons of money and he still goes out there and makes more money. Luxurious lifestyle, anyone? That's what you'll get in Three Girls in Love. Not only that, but the man, whenever needed and whenever desired, he can actually come and spend time because he's replaced himself in his business. Not only that, but the women, all three of the women, why would they go to work? Like, it doesn't make any sense for you to go to work if you're living a luxurious lifestyle. How many Hollywood wives or basketball wives do you see going to a full-time job? They don't, because they don't need it. So if you understand it from that standpoint, monogamy is work. It's hard work to succeed. In Three Girls in Love, the man has already succeeded, so you don't have to. And the best time to secure a man of high value is when you're 18 to 22 years old. So you'll actually have a lifetime. Could you imagine your entire life never having to do anything that you don't want to do ever? Sounds too good to be true? It's not too good to be true because that's the reality of life when you've got a man of high value. But the best way to secure that is for you to work on your femininity, work on your beauty, and work on you accepting and surrendering and letting go towards Three Girls in Love. Why? Because that is the system that works for women, for children, but also for men. And it doesn't require work. Because the thing is, it's just kind of like what I say about passive income. Passive income is when you're doing work that you enjoy doing, but you're getting paid for it. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. This is women's lifestyles in Three Girls in Love. They're doing work, right? They're taking care of the house. They're taking care of the food. They're taking care of the kids. They're going around, activities, fun activities that they want to do because they got the cash to do it. And they're sexual things, okay? They're doing work that they massively enjoy doing and have an amazing lifestyle as a result. And guess what? The man is out there building businesses, and because he doesn't need the money, he gets to do the kind of work he wants to do. Do you see how everyone in this family can become emotionally fulfilled? Amazing.
It's the future. Happy couples truly feel that they are a team and work to build their future. They plan out every aspect of their future.
They plan every aspect of their future. Did you know that there's a lot of monogamous couples that have to plan for sexual activity? Yeah, that sucks. but it's reality for most monogamous couples, and very often they don't want to do it. That's why they have to schedule it in. And when they schedule it in, they don't want it even more because it's not spontaneous and it's not according to nature. It doesn't flow. It's not natural. It's forced. Okay? In Three Girls in Love, it's never forced. The women gravitate towards the man as soon as one of the other women mention his name. Okay? And then they gravitate towards him, and whenever he comes home, they jump on him because they're fired up outside their brain to see him. That's the kind of emotion you want, isn't it? This is not about the man. This is about you feeling in love, attraction, excitement. And the man, he gets the reward. It's awesome for the man as well, obviously. But it doesn't have to be planned or forced or scheduled, and you're never, ever going against nature.
Such as marriage, having kids, where your careers will take you, where you might live together one day, all while making compromises to ensure that the both.
Compromises? Really? Sounds like a lose-lose situation. Anyway, I've been very sarcastic or negative throughout this video, but I just want you guys to understand why I am. Like, I understand relationships. I understand the woman. I understand the man. I understand what makes relationships work, and that's why I've kind of been, a bit negative. However, I'm so grateful for Psycho2Go to actually have made this video and put it all together. It's required a lot of work, of course. And I hope the best for them, of course. And of course, I want the best for all monogamous couples. Just because you're in monogamy doesn't mean that you can't be happy to some extent. Okay, but why would you want to be in a roller coaster, happy, sad, and not feeling attraction, and then happy a little bit, and then not feeling attraction again? Why wouldn't you want your happiness to be exponential? That's really what we're talking about here, and you can get that from Three Girls in Love. I'm going to end there. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video. There's tons of other great videos on my channel explaining Three Girls in Love in the in-depth manner, and I hope that you get a lot out of it. This is the Three Girls in Love channel. My name is Joseph Darling, and I'll see you in the next one.